Hi, we're going to look at some double strokes this time. I think double strokes are such an important part of any drummer's toolkit, if you like. Lots of guys play them in different ways, but I think there's one technique which you should learn, which is basically the accepted way of playing a double stroke roll. It involves a technique called the drop and the snap, which basically means you're dropping or kind of throwing the stick onto the head, letting it bounce back, and then snapping the stick into the palm of the hand to get the second note. So it's basically a wrists and fingers combination to get the doubles. Something like this, very slowly. So basically what I'm doing is playing the first note of the double, letting it bounce back slightly, then using my fingers to snap the stick back into the palm of my hand to play the second note of the double. This way you get a nice even double stroke roll. I'll just explain the left hand before I play a double stroke roll. I play traditional grip. If you play match grip, what goes for the left goes for the right. Exactly the same. The drop and the snap. The left hand traditional grip, it's kind of the same. You're letting the stick bounce up and then you're using the fingers to play the second stroke. I kind of use a combination of pressing my thumb in a little bit and the forefinger just to get the second note of the double. Just kind of squeezing the hand in together to move the stick back to the head. I use a lot of doubles in my playing, and I think it's an important thing to learn because they can be so useful. So I'm going to look at a few double stroke ideas. Any of you that have studied the drumming rudiments will probably have had to play some kind of double stroke within that, because there are so many rudiments, the double stroke group of rudiments that require that. Things like a 5-stroke roll and a 6-stroke roll, whatever stroke roll it is, you'll find that there are a lot of doubles involved in that. So perfecting that double stroke roll is not only great for playing your rudiments, but you'll find that there's a lot of other things. You can put the rudiments around the kit, you can put doubles on the hi-hat, on the snare drum, subdivide non-accented notes into doubles. Loads of stuff you can do if you've got your double stroke rolls in order, so I would recommend a little bit of study on that if I was you. So the first thing I think to look at, I'll show you something that I use in my playing quite a lot, and that is kind of a 5-stroke roll. If I show you the basic movement required for the 5-stroke roll, and then we can move it around the kit and do some cool things with it. This in itself is not a 5-stroke roll, but it shows you the movement. I'm sure a lot of you will have played this. This is a 3-note grouping, hand-to-hand accents. Now to get the 5 strokes, we've got to include some doubles in there. So basically we've got loud, soft, soft, and then loud, soft, soft again. Those soft notes I'm going to subdivide into two separate notes. I'm going to subdivide each of those singles into a double. So we're basically going to have loud, then soft, 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 soft. which is the 5-stroke roll. So I'll show you unsubdivided, like I was just doing, then into the 5-stroke roll version. Notice that the hands as well kind of keep the same motion. Okay, that's the idea, that the arms and the hands should basically keep the same motion, and it's that finger movement, the snap of the stick, that gives the additional note. So here we go. Okay, that's a 5-stroke roll. A standard 5-stroke roll that you will see in the rudiment books will put the accent at the back. So if that's your pulse, a 5-stroke roll would sound like this. So it's the accents at the back of each of them. It doesn't really matter where you put it, it's all about being musical. So there's a couple of ways that you can use that 5-stroke roll. The first thing that I do, and it's a standard way of doing things again, is whenever you've got an accented pattern, you can put the accents around the kit, keep the non-accents on the snare. So if we've got that 5-stroke roll pattern, okay, so that's a standard way of doing things. What I was doing there was just playing that 5-stroke roll, putting the accents around the kit. Okay, pretty standard. Now the flow of that, it's got like a kind of triplet feel to it. So it's ideal for using in kind of triplet, maybe shuffle grooves that we've looked at before as a kind of fill idea. You could have something like this. Kind of works well with that kind of groove. There's another way you can phrase these triplet ideas as well, and it's kind of in a 4/3 polyrhythmic kind of fashion, which may sound a little bit confusing if you're not au fait with polyrhythms and how they work, but you should get it once you hear it. I'm playing the same thing, but I'm using, instead of using triplet notes, I'm using 16th notes. So I'm playing the same pattern, but resolving it, so it's or you can just keep carrying it on. Okay, with the 5-stroke roll. Okay, I use that a lot as well in my playing. Okay, so that's the 5-stroke roll. Same idea here, 6-stroke roll. Basically the same kind of thing. We've got loud and soft notes, so I'll show you the first pattern without the subdivisions. 2 loud and 2 soft, we get something like this. Again, using the snap and the pulse technique to subdivide the unaccented notes, we get this. And that can be played a number of ways as well. You can change the accents around, so you can put the second accent on the 1, so you get something like this. That's a very, very standard way of playing that, and I use that in my playing all the time. So something like this. So, using double strokes in your playing, subdivision, really good thing to do.